The Galactic Combat Academy prided itself on producing the finest warriors in known space. Master Gorthak had trained champions from 100 worlds over his 40-year career. The Valonian stood 9 feet tall, his 4 arms capable of delivering devastating combinations that had never been countered. His chitinous armor had never been cracked by a student. Today's exhibition match was meant to demonstrate superior Valonian combat techniques to the mixed species class. His chosen opponent, a human youth named Jamie Rodriguez, barely 18, one of the first humans admitted to the academy. "Observe," Gorthak announced to the assembled students, his mandibles clicking with satisfaction. "The human form is fragile, slow. They lack natural armor, multiple limbs, or enhanced strength. This will be educational." Jamie stood in the ring, looking almost comically small next to the towering instructor. He wore simple training clothes, no armor, his stance relaxed. Several students laughed. The Craxian cadets placed bets on how many seconds he'd last. "Ready yourself, boy," Gorthak commanded. Jamie nodded, raising his hands in what looked like a sloppy guard. His breathing was calm, controlled. Too calm, some later recalled. Gorthak moved with the speed that made Valonians feared across the galaxy. His primary right arm shot forward in a classic strike, too fast for most species to even see, let alone block. The crack of breaking bone echoed through the training hall. Jamie's head snapped back, blood streaming from his clearly broken nose. He stumbled, and the alien students roared approval. Another human shone their place. But Jamie didn't fall. Instead, something changed in his eyes. The calm vanished, replaced by something primal. Something that reminded observers that humans hadn't reached space by being prey. His hand shot out, impossibly fast, grasping Gorthak's still-extended arm. The Valonian had a split second to register surprise before Jamie's body moved in ways that seemed to defy physics. He pivoted, using Gorthak's own momentum, and twisted. The snap was louder than the nose break had been. Gorthak's primary right arm bent at an angle arms weren't meant to bend. The master's scream of pain cut short as Jamie continued moving, now inside the reach of those 4 arms. His elbow found Gorthak's knee joint. His heel stomped down on an instep. His forehead cracked against the Valonian's mandibles. Each strike targeted joints, nerve clusters, the weak points between armor plates that Jamie shouldn't have known about. But humans had been studying anatomy, their own and others, for millennia. They'd learned to heal by learning exactly how bodies broke. In 5 seconds, Master Gorthak was on the ground, 2 arms disabled, 1 leg unable to support weight, mandibles cracked. Jamie stood over him, blood still streaming from his nose, that primal fire still burning in his eyes. Then, as suddenly as it had appeared, the fire vanished. Jamie knelt beside the injured instructor, his hands gentle now as he checked the injuries. "Medical team to training hall 3, he called out calmly. Then, to Gorthak, "Don't move. Your secondary nervous system is in shock. The breaks are clean. They'll heal properly if you stay still." The hall was silent except for Gorthak's labored breathing. The other students stared in shock at the small human who'd demolished their greatest combat instructor in seconds. "How?" Gorthak gasped. Jamie wiped blood from his face, wincing as he touched his broken nose. "You triggered an adrenaline response. It's a human thing. When injured, our bodies flood with chemicals that suppress pain, increase strength and speed, dilate time perception. We call it fight or flight. But," he shrugged, "humans usually choose fight." "But the precision," a Thraxian student whispered. "You knew exactly where to strike." "Every human medical student learns anatomy," Jamie explained. "We're taught to heal, but that knowledge works both ways. We know exactly how bodies break because we've spent thousands of years learning to fix them. Also," he added, almost apologetically, "I grew up in Sao Paulo. You learn to fight there or you don't grow up." As the medical team arrived, Jamie helped them stabilize Gorthak. His hands were steady, professional, the same hands that had just methodically dismantled the Academy's best fighter. "The nose," Gorthak managed to say as they lifted him onto the stretcher. "I shouldn't have broken your nose." Jamie grinned, And despite the blood, it was genuinely warm. Honestly, it's not my first broken nose. Probably won't be the last. But yeah, pro tip for next time. Don't trigger a human's adrenaline response unless you're ready for what comes next. The Academy would later update their combat curriculum to include a new course, Human Physiology and Combat Responses. The first lesson was simple. Humans might look fragile, but evolution had given them something more dangerous than armor or claws. It had given them the ability to turn injury into fury, pain into power, and medical knowledge into tactical advantage. And most importantly, never, ever break a human's nose unless you want to discover why they became the dominant species on a world full of things trying to kill them.